mic test?
Not broadcasting today, but like I'll still do it. Doot 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 doot. Doot 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 doot. No, I'm just gonna do the mic test. I'm just gonna talk, talkity talk talk. What we do? Chat chitty chat 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 chat. I'm the Twitch streamer. How's it going, chat? Tell them what you. Tell them what you ladies. My name is Jacksepticeye, and welcome back.
The night has come, it's cold and losing my control. Your light is gone, and lonely darkness fill my soul. I wish that you
Please rise and salute the flag.
Could I also do it?
I pledge allegiance to the
flag
flag
of the United States of America,
and
to the republic for which it stands,
one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Good morning and welcome to RPtv. Today is Wednesday, September 15th. Our top story this morning concerns the ever-changing weather and the potential for more rain. So let's go to Cooper for that report.
Thank you, Callie. Another round of thunderstorms move towards the state of New Jersey. They are not correlated to any hurricanes or tropical storms, but they are expected to bring high winds and possibly hail. At the moment, widespread flooding is not anticipated, but you should be aware of local flooding in some areas. This flooding will not take much time to happen because we have been bombarded with rain recently. We'll be back.
Please stay tuned. We will be right back after this brief commercial message. The spotted lanternfly has been spreading its wings throughout New Jersey and Union County, and it's important for all of us to take notice. Here's Alana Fernandez with a special report.
Hi, my name is Alana Fernandez from RPtv, and this is Mike. Would you like to introduce yourself?
Yes, my name is Mike Astone. I am the tree person for the Borough of Roselle Park, Department of Public Works. I've been taking care of trees for over 40 years, and I'm a New Jersey licensed tree expert and a certified arborist and a certified tree inspector in the state of New Jersey. Okay.
Well, today we are going to be talking about an invasive species that has arrived in New Jersey lately. When does the spotted lanternfly lay its eggs?
There is one generation of spotted lanternfly a year. The eggs are laid in the fall and they hatch in the spring. The egg masses are laid on hard surfaces and which could be anything. It could be a tree, it could be the side of your house. Spotted lanternfly, it'll lay its eggs in a row and cover it with a mud-like substance, and they can lay up to 30 to 50 eggs at a time, and they could have 2 and possibly 3 egg masses an adult female can produce. Okay?
What should people do if they find the eggs?
if you find an egg mass, the state of New Jersey is recommending that you use a pool or like a credit card even, and you can when you find the egg mass, you scrape it off. You can crush the eggs, or you can scrape them off into a bag with alcohol or hand sanitizer and seal it up, and that should kill them. The state of New Jersey really wants everyone, if they find spotted lanternfly, to use every means possible to destroy them. Okay.
What would be a good way to dispose of a spotted lanternfly if you find one nearby your house?
If you do have an infestation on your property, in your trees, they recommend once they go into their nymphal stage, where they're insects and crawling, after they're hatched, that you use these sticky bands around your trees, and that will help to catch some of them. So that's a recommendation. You can use chemical treatments, and spray some insecticide, and that would help. Okay.
Thank you very much.
Okay.
This is Alana from RPtv signing off.
That's it for us today. Thanks for watching RPtv. Have a great day and stay tuned for CNN 10.
Hi, I'm Carl Azus. Welcome to the show. Today's Down the Middle coverage starts with a controversial facet of the coronavirus pandemic. Should American workers be required to be vaccinated? In an effort to pressure more Americans to get one of the country's 3 available COVID vaccines, U.S. President Joe Biden announced new rules last week. Among them concerns all businesses that have 100 or more employees. They have to require these workers either to get vaccinated or to be tested. More than 11,000 Americans have been hospitalized and more than 2,600 have died, even though they were already vaccinated. Many Americans still have concerns about the health effects of the vaccines, and because they were developed last year, any long-term effects they may have are unknown. One of America's top infectious disease specialists says many more vaccine mandates may be necessary to get the coronavirus pandemic under control. But there are a lot of questions about whether people can get exemptions to the mandate for medical reasons or religious beliefs, or if they've recovered from the virus and have natural immunity. The responses from employers have been mixed. Some large companies like Amazon and Walmart support the mandates and hope they'll lower their healthcare costs and reduce the number of sick days their employees need to take. But others are concerned about losing workers who refuse to get the vaccines at a time when many businesses are struggling with a shortage of workers to begin with. A number of lawsuits have been filed against companies that required vaccines before the government mandate was announced, and at least 19 Republican governors have spoken out against the Democratic president, saying a government mandate will only increase the determination of some people not to get vaccinated, and that workers shouldn't lose their jobs over a personal medical decision. Again, this is just one example of one debate concerning coronavirus in America. We expect the subject to be in the news for months to come. 10-second trivia. Which of these animals was the last to go extinct? Saber-toothed tiger, woolly mammoth, megalodon, or Eurasian cave lion? believe certain woolly mammoths survived until 4,000 years ago, long after these other animals are thought to have gone extinct. Can scientists use genetic engineering to bring back the woolly mammoth, and should they? This sounds like something out of Jurassic Park, but scientists can't directly clone a woolly mammoth. The DNA they've gotten from these animals' remains has deteriorated too much. What they are hoping to do is use genetic engineering to create a hybrid of an elephant and a mammoth that would look just like the extinct animal. A biosciences and genetics company has raised $15 million to do this, and it says it hopes to have calves walking around in 4 to 6 years. But there are still a lot of questions about how this would happen. For one thing, researchers say they'll have to make 50 changes to an elephant's genetic code so it's able to survive in the Arctic. And even then, critics say this won't create a mammoth, just a hairier, fatter elephant. They're also concerned that the possibility of using elephant mothers to carry a genetically engineered baby could be unethical. Supporters hope the project will create a lot of new interest in genetic science. It's just not known whether it'll work or what the consequences would be. Next, we're talking about coral. Coral? No, coral. Specifically, coral reefs. They cover less than 1% of the ocean floor, but they're home to more than 25% of known marine life. Pollution and mining have destroyed much of the coral off the coast of Hong Kong, but a company that makes clay tiles is seeing some success in restoring coral. Creating the tiles takes a lot of energy and produces a lot of carbon dioxide. The costs and challenges of getting the materials may keep them from being a large-scale solution, but there are upsides.
As diving destinations go, Hong Kong might not boast the most spectacular views. But for marine biologist Vrico Yu, these murky waters offer more than initially meets the eye.
It's a lie if anybody tell you corals in Hong Kong are pretty, because they're not. But they're always there. In fact, we do have more coral species than the entire Caribbean.
Hong Kong's corals are persisting against the odds, surviving centuries of land development, coral mining, and pollution. But for more coral to grow, there needs to be stable bedrock, something Hong Kong's degraded ocean floor is lacking, Yu says. Working with other scientists and architects from the University of Hong Kong, Yu developed technology to restore Hong Kong's coral reefs using 3D printing.
We were thinking about what's the best material or what kind of structure would best provide the foundation for corals to grow.
The team makes the hexagonal tiles out of clay, a material non-toxic to ocean life, while 3D printing allows them to mimic the complex surface structure of corals that are already suited to Hong Kong's environment.
The design of the reef tiles is actually inspired by the brain coral, where they have this valley of patterns that looks cool but also effective in attracting marine life.
So we're now in Coral Beach. This is our experiment site where we deployed about 130 reef tiles. We just went down there to see how the corals are performing. What is surprisingly good is that after the typhoon season, all of them survived.
They installed the first tiles in 2020. So far, 4 times more coral has survived on the clay tiles than on traditionally used structures like concrete blocks, says Yu. But coral doesn't grow overnight. Yu predicts it will take at least 3 to 5 years for the reef to mature. In the meantime, Yu and partnering Professor David Baker have founded startup RPtv to expand the project beyond the university. They're refining the printing technology and studying coral behaviors to prepare for their next installation, where paying companies can adopt a reef tile and follow its progress.
We don't want to be a company that is simply fabricating an object that people put in the ocean and walk away from it. We have to engage with our clients across that whole spectrum, from consulting to installation and to monitoring and management.
RPtv isn't the only startup restoring coral. Coral Vita grows coral fragments on a land-based farm in the Caribbean, where the company says it can develop faster than in the ocean and replants them onto degraded reefs. But Baker believes that RPtv can help regrow coral in areas where it has entirely disappeared, a situation which is becoming increasingly common.
Creating that new hard bottom can help overcome that problem and kind of reset the clock on these coral communities.
While the startup will need to overcome challenges before it can implement its technology at scale, including lowering the environmental footprint and cost of producing the tiles, Yu says the demand is there as people in Hong Kong become increasingly conscious of their impact on the marine environment.
We live by the sea, and everything that we do is closely tied to the ocean. All the pollutants that we have in our daily life will potentially end up in the ocean at some point. Restoration is not only what the government should be doing, or academics or scientists, it's really about everybody.
Fantastic fair food favorites for me: corn dogs, popcorn, and fried Oreos. But on the healthier side, there are veggies, and they're good for the people and the bears that eat them. The giant veggies that farmers grow and compete with at the Alaska State Fair are later brought to the brown bears at a wildlife conservation center. For the animals, it's a chance to gorge themselves and maybe even roll in hundreds of pounds of vegetables. Some can't bear to eat their veggies, others grin and bear it, or just barely choke them down. But if you've been berated for forbearing to bear your greens, take some inspiration from the animals, because they hibernate, all of them. DC International School, thank you for watching from Washington, D.C. Our web producer picks the schools we mentioned from youtube.com/CNN10, nowhere else. I'm Coral Azus.